the Paradigm Shift, episode 196, with not one, but two unbelievable dynamic guests. Live from Miami. It's been an unbelievable trip. Getting back to New York later tonight. And I'm so pumped for this episode. No place in the world I'd rather be. Big Dave, let's get you on. And then we're going to get this party started. How you guys feeling? What's happening? Where are you dialing in from? What are you most pumped about? What has you jazzed about 2025? And so forth. Let's bring Dave on and let's do this. There he is.
Hi, buddy.
Hey, you.
I am rocking and rolling. Time is flying here. What's going on? Happy holidays, my man.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you, too. What a beautiful time of the year.
It's one of my favorite. Where are you? That doesn't look like your normal New York City view.
Now, I'm in Miami. Be back later. I'm shooting back to New York today.
Oh, wow. What's going on in Miami?
Just here for a day. Filmed a couple podcasts, met a client, and then I just stayed a little bit longer to just have a little bit of Craig time.
A little bit of Craig time. By yourself?
Yeah.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, you know what it is? I mean, obviously you know this better than me, but even just in a change of environment, just a couple hours, just a little bit different download, just a little bit different energy, and very expansive. So I stayed a little bit longer, and I'm hopping back today.
You're a lucky man. Anyway, I'm excited about today. We got a big show in store, episode 196. So coming into the new year, we got the big 200 to start thinking about.
Yes, we do. And before we bring on Danielle, I have a question for you. As we begin to wrap up 2024, get ready for the new year and all that's to come, what has been something that might have been a transformational lesson for you in 2024 that you learned and applied and has expanded you?
Well, I think one of the biggest ones is I've always said, I capture what resonates with me, and I've always captured the lessons that resonate with me because life is about lessons, and the lessons keep on coming until we learn them. But I've always, as an optimist, only taken the positive lessons, the ones that resonate with me, thinking that the resonance meant that it strongly agreed with me. And what I learned in 2024 through all the different research and practices and execution on those practices is that it's equally, if not greater, of importance in order to look at what resonates with us in the respect of what we strongly disagree with, what is like Tabasco in a wound, what annoys the shit out of us, and that elevating my own awareness to all that I'm given, not by just what resonates with what is agreeable, but to appreciate the intuitive system that we are part of, an infinite, abundant, unified system of thought, which when we are agitated, aggravated, and interfered with through the intuitive thought of resonance to the negative, meaning that something bugs the crap out of us or we strongly disagree with, that should have equal or greater attention and intention in order to facilitate the curiosity, the interested, not interesting, by denying what we don't like or what we don't love. And so to facilitate understanding the process of learning, especially in order to get the benefit of the ease and the cheat codes of being able to understand, to learn to love what we don't like or don't love, equally to enjoy what we do like and what we do love, has completely expanded my philosophy of capturing that resonates with us, the lessons, and then to be able to apply the stories to that which is at equilibrium or disruption of our essence, to understand and to utilize and apply the unbelievable, infinite, abundant, omniscient, all-powerful source that we're constantly interfering with, or even worse, accelerating away from, has created a great amount of equity and power in everything that I'm doing personally and professionally. And I've been able to facilitate teaching people this methodology, whether it's to write books, to speak, to coach, to build business, to feel comfortable not only in abundance, but prosperity. because a lot of the secrets of prosperity, which is a subset of abundance, lies within not just the positive resonance, but the interference resonance that stops and accelerates us and creates scarcity amongst an abundant, infinite loop of giving, given, receiving, and asking for more.
That was epic. I mean, we could just drop the mic, but we're just getting warmed up. I think I'm going to definitely listen to that back again, and we couldn't be more aligned because I can agree. The stuff that has made me most uncomfortable this year, and there was a lot, is also where most of the opportunity has been there for me to take my next level and to expand. And so
Well,
from that,
I hope I'm part of that which makes you uncomfortable, because that's my job.
you always make me uncomfortable. You always stretch me, and you challenge me in a proactive way. And that's something that I used to want to get away from, and now I understand that that's something I look forward to leaning into, because the more uncomfortable you are, the more opportunity to expand.
Exactly.
Yeah. And gonna bring on our first guest, and then we got Brian on, and I'm just super pumped.
Me too. I'm always pumped to see you, brother.
I love you, man. Speaking of beautiful, there she is.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
So nice to be here.
Danielle, how are you?
Wonderful. Thank you. How are you both? It's an honor to be here.
We're pumped to have you. Where are you dialing in from?
I'm in Stratford, just outside of Toronto,
Is
Canada.
it cold by you?
It's freezing.
Yeah. I'll be going back to that tonight. But I'm super pumped to have you. We love you. Me and you hit it off. We met in New York a little while back, and I just love everything that you're doing. And for our community, do a deep dive, check out everything she has going on. Let's just dive right in.
Great.
One of the things that you talk about often, and it's something I'm really working on, is being able to trust yourself more and really connect to your intuition. And how many of us have had an intuition and then went against it and it bit us in the butt? What is something that you do to trust yourself more?
Well, first of all, I tattooed it on my arm to remind myself. That happened this year after a season of not listening to myself and really feeling the impact of that. So for me, it's really been top of mind for the remainder of 2024. It's been everything that I've been leaning into, and especially you were just talking about being uncomfortable. What I've noticed is intuition and that higher self, that guidance is often leading us to, yes, our purpose and more joy ultimately, and it's uncomfortable. And so when intuition goes against logic or goes against the norm, that's when I've been leaning in more. And when it doesn't make sense, I'm like, let's go for it. This is my higher self really guiding me to that next step.
This is one of the constructs, Danielle. What a beautiful sentiment it is to explain our intuition and listening to ourselves. And in the realm of it, what happens to people is they don't understand the differentiator that exists in time when it comes to intuition. See, intuition is an infinite feeling. It is irrelevant what the circumstances of today are. Logic is a methodology to understand the circumstances of the day applicable to a divine direction, which is timeless in its nature. But what's so interesting about intuition is that people struggle because they are balancing the circumstances of today with the irrelevancy of the circumstances of today in intuition. And so I always use the classic example. What do you do when you're sitting at a craps table and your intuition says hard 8? If your intuition, listening to yourself, is so true, then why doesn't hard 8 come up on the next roll, even though I have a strong feeling hard 8, which means for those people that don't gamble, it's double fours. That's 8, 2 fours. And so what happens in life is we get this strong feeling, hard 8, hard 8, hard 8. And we listen to ourselves without the harmony of intelligence, logic, of inspiration, godliness, and the intuition that exists. And so I always elevate people's awareness to, I always write down my intuition. I capture it. We were talking earlier about these lessons. because I know that intuition is telling me, David, Heart 8 has a significance in your life or future lives, and pay attention to it and start giving it intention, and you will reveal the benefit of the Heart 8 eventually. And so if we take this philosophy by using the construct of the circumstances of a day in order to keep in harmony with intelligence, logic, intuition, and inspiration, we can actually facilitate a quantitative or a pragmatic statistical success and not wonder why God's punishing us because I'm just following my inner voice and my true self. But yet in this lifetime, I'm broke, sick, high, sleeping on my mom's couch, wondering why my intuition is leading me astray. And so there is a harmony between all of those that I love to elevate awareness to people so that they can start seeing the clues and the patterns of how to utilize their intuition in the circumstances of today.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, beautiful. Where do I even begin, right? Both of you, but specifically, Danielle, that resonates with me so much that when it makes the least sense is when you know you should do it. Because for me, that's how I'm able to strengthen my certainty consciousness, or a knowing or a trusting, is to be able to let go of something that's not in alignment, even if I can't see in the moment something better waiting, knowing with certainty that it's coming when it doesn't make most sense. And that's just been such a breakthrough for me. I love what you said there.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to ask you too, because going into the new year, a lot of people are adding stuff to gain success. But I have a feeling there's some things that you're actually ditching going into the new year. What might be something that you're letting go of?
Well, I'm letting go of control. My word for 2025 is surrender, trust. And really, this goes along with the conversation that we're just having. You know, the need to control the situation is really what David was just saying, like by being so caught up in the circumstances right now. And I notice this a lot where myself and even clients, where if something in our physical environment doesn't quite match what we desire, we go and we try and control it, especially with physical action. And for me, I'm letting go of that, surrendering and really trusting and following with that. So I'll put my desires out there for 2025, plant it in the seed of the subconscious and the garden of the subconscious. And then my plan is to surrender and follow joy, follow that intuition, and really go after what brings more pleasure, joy, happiness into my life. So letting go of everything that's not that.
Having the desire and also relinquishing control. I love it.
Mhm.
Dave, same frequency?
Absolutely. And understanding what your own methodologies are to do that is so interesting because I'll give you an example. One of my friends, his GPS will tell him he's late for a plane, and his GPS will tell him the directions to the airport in an unfamiliar city. And his intuition says that's the wrong direction. I'm supposed to go left here. Now, I have a pragmatic sense about me, and I am not faithful enough to allow the outcomes that are better for me to happen. And let me explain that to you. Very few people can do this. And I think, Danielle, I admire the fact that you have that faith of saying, you know whatever's there is to protect, promote me, love, and perfect me because it's from a higher source that loves me more than my mom, and it's omniscient, irrelevant of the circumstances in the day. I'm still stuck in the pragmatic world where I'll follow the GPS because I don't want to find out what's actually better for me. I just want to make my plane. And I don't trust the fact that my intuition is saying, go left, forget the GPS. And I'm waiting for the day where I go ahead and I go left and I allow, maybe missing the plane is awesome because I missed the plane and I end up meeting someone like you at the airport and end up, even though I missed my big business appointment, I ended up with a bigger business appointment because I was waiting for an airplane that I missed, and yet some people have that capability. And I think we have to reconcile that with our reaction to fear, Craig. And you and I work on this a lot, is that you can go down a rabbit hole, and it's infinite in its nature about what we're afraid of, how much faith we have that we are guided, protected, promoted, and perfected. But in the end, I think understanding your own timing and risk tolerance in your human experience is essential of this allowance and faith that is infinite. And I bless because I get to touch on it once in a while, Danielle, but I have to admit, I'm not brave enough to live in full faith. I have a reaction to fear, that, I have my plan and I'm more apt to let God laugh at my well-developed plan than to follow his plan. But it's a human experience and a learning that I think everyone has to reconcile with their own timing and risk tolerance so that they may be disappointed that they made the wrong choice, but at least you won't be resentful and guilty, when you know your timing and risk tolerance and are cognizant of the fact that I'm not following my intuition. Instead, it's beyond my timing and risk tolerance and my faith today. I'll keep on working on it.
That's a beautiful
One,
share.
mm,
Go ahead, Danielle.
one, I was just going to say one thing I noticed is, and what I've been doing for myself is really like almost tracking, keeping score of those moments when when I am following the intuition and I'm willing to jump and assume the net's going to appear. And then I notice what happens, and that applying this in real time and then recognizing the shift and how that quantum leaps is really helping me develop that faith that you talked about. Because what I'm noticing is that God's plan, this higher power that I'm listening to, is actually helping me quantum leap. And on the conscious side and the logical side, if I follow the GPS, I'm guaranteed to get to the airport by that time. And that works. But it's, Thomas Truord, one of my favorite authors, he talks about this and entering into the spirit of it. It's like all humans have this idea where we think we know better, and we've got all these calculations in the physical world. But if we were able to trust and let go, really surrender, we'll see that the calculations of the universe are actually magical. 1 + 1 = 11, not 2.
I love that. And my birthday's January 11th, so there's no doubt 111.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring on Brian. Danielle, if you could hang out, we'd love you to.
Thank you.
And the son of a legend, and he's a legend in his own right. And while I bring him on, Dave, I wanted to ask you, that was a beautiful shared vulnerability. Do you have the desire to lean more into that?
I do, and I use the same methodology of looking at clues, patterns, and making better choices. And this is one of my favorite people that just joined us, by the way. And as he knows, his father has probably had one of the greatest impacts on my life. And Craig, by the way, I was just named chairman of the Napoleon Hill Institute. And I think my biggest certification was that I was mentored by Bob Proctor. And he also, by the way, Brian and Bob have donated more to the Unstoppable Foundation, which I'm the chairman of as well. And Brian, before we got started, I just have to tell you, it's so honored to be here. And you and your father and your whole family has had an unbelievable impact on not only my life, but my legacy and the people that I impact. So thank you.
Thank you, David. You know what? It is great to see you. Great to see you as well, Craig, and you, Danielle. Boy, this is just, it feels good. I haven't seen you, David, since the last, I think, Unstoppable Gala. So
Yeah,
it's been a few years.
too long.
This is all, what a moment. All the feels. Let's dive right in. Brian, great to see you again. One of the things that you often talk about, which I think is so beautiful, is the importance of being curious and staying curious. Why is that so impactful for you?
Well, you know what? I think, Craig, I think being curious allows you to be open to new things. What else is out there in the world? The big thing I really got from my father was, I think a part of being curious is you all were talking about intuition, and God, I just love that whole conversation. When I really think about it, the last thing I learned from my father was all around intuition. It was really about listening to it and following it. And, I think that is being curious. That is allowing outside forces to talk to you and to guide you. And I look at the last couple of years for sure of my life, man, I have listened to my intuition and followed it, and it has taken me in very uncomfortable places. But the growth that I've experienced because of it has been incredible. And that is being curious to what else is out there. They say, when you're talking about it, I thought, when we pray, they say that's us speaking to God, and intuition is God speaking to us. And I think that's such a great way of thinking about it. And if we can get in touch with our intuition and actually listen to it and follow it. And, I love the name of your show, The Paradigm Shift, not let our paradigms interfere with what that intuition is telling us. If we can step out and step through that terror barrier and follow what our intuition is telling us, wow, life changes. Life changes. I think we're all capable of so much more. And if we could just step out and bet on ourselves a little bit, doesn't matter what our current circumstances, doesn't matter what our environment is. If we can step out and bet on ourselves, life can be so much more.
Dave, I don't know why I found myself very emotional right now. What a moment. That was beautiful.
Like I said, it's the truth vibrates the fastest. And one of my key phrases and quotes that I use when I close out almost every show came from the idea that Bob had taught me at a very young age, which was be more interested than interesting.
Yes.
And although Bob Proctor and Brian are two of the most interesting people, it's because they're interested. And the facilitation of the infinite loop of information that comes through us via intelligence and inspiration as an indicator, intuition will tell us, hey, dummy, this is important to you. Pay attention, be interested in this. And even if you strongly disagree with it, which was where the real magic is. I had another Bob in my life, Bob Parsons, who's the chairman of GoDaddy, had a $4.2 billion exit. And he said, Dave, if you can learn to love what you don't like and don't love, and you do that every day consistently without quitting, life will tell you all its secrets. It'll give you its cheat codes. It actually makes life easy, but it's counterintuitive, and it is a paradigm shift, Brian, as you know, and Danielle, as you practice as well with me in this human experience. So I just want to reiterate the impact of being interested or curious that allows us to go beyond the circumstances of today and look for that infinite loop.
Yeah, beautiful. This is awesome. Brian, you speak a lot about becoming unstuck.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that are in my world find themselves stuck right now. You're the master at helping facilitate that. What is something maybe tangible that somebody can do that will listen or catch a replay to begin to become unstuck in addition to maybe staying curious?
Well, I think the way you get unstuck is you step out of your comfort zone. I think so often we stay in our comfort zone because it feels safe. But when we do that, we're not growing. We're not doing anything. We're not achieving much more. If we can get in the habit of stepping out of our comfort zone, step through what my father liked to call the terror barrier, and learn from that, that's how you get unstuck. The last couple of years, like I say, I've stepped through that terror barrier so many times that I've actually gotten comfortable stepping through the terror barrier. And every time you do that, it's not always easy. Sometimes it bites, sometimes it hurts, sometimes it can be a little awkward, but you learn something every time. And if you want to get unstuck, you need to learn new things, and you need to step out of your comfort zone, because once you do that, you're really stepping into the learning zone, and you're going to grow, you're going to learn more, and you will likely do a lot more. And that's really the easiest way that I can say how you do it.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yeah. You got to get stuck. You got to get stuck being stuck. So many people, they don't even know they're stuck because they haven't tried to get out of the room. So I'm in my wife's office this morning, and if my wife locked me in to this room and I never tried to leave this room to get outside of this comfort zone, I wouldn't even know I'm stuck. So I tell people congratulations when they tell me they're stuck. I said, you're stuck, but you just haven't found the key to the door yet. You don't got to go over it, under it, through it, around it. You don't got to break down the door. Let's go ahead and find the light, the love, and the lessons in this feeling of being stuck, let's find the light, love, and lessons and the resistance in the door. And that light, love, and lessons will be the key. And it takes far less energy to go ahead and turn the key and go into the next room, the bigger room, the learning zone, until we reach again a point where we need to leave that room to go to another bigger room and find that key as well. And so I congratulate anyone out there that feels stuck, because all those people that are sitting at home high on their mom's couch, broke and sick, not trying to get off the couch, living with their mom, you're not going to feel stuck. Instead, I admire the people that are up early in the morning, like my mentor, and enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit of their potential. If you're enjoying that pursuit, you're going to feel stuck a lot of the time. So enjoy feeling stuck and get stuck being stuck.
Yeah. Danielle, you agree?
Oh, totally. I was also thinking, just when you are so dissatisfied with where you are, that's really the jumping point. You know, that's when you can draw a line in the sand and say, I've had enough, and decide, really, it's a decision that you deserve more, that you're ready for more, that you understand that you're capable of more. And so that feeling of being stuck and not satisfied is a great place to be. I completely agree.
Yeah, I love it. Dave, I'll land the plane. And one thing that I've learned so much from Bob's work, and also Brian talks about it as well, is how abundance is our birthright. And a lot of people believe that, but they don't know it. How do you know that abundance is our birthright?
Well, if I'm going to answer that, I think just look around. Look around. Watch what you're looking at. Make sure you're looking for the good in the world. Don't get caught in the loop of today's news and some of the social media. Start looking for the positive things around you. I like to call it looking at life through rose-colored glasses. And, if we can start looking for the good, we'll start to see the abundance that's around us. And it is our birthright. It's there for all of us. We just have to step out and do something about it. Um, you probably heard of Price Pritchett. He wrote a great book called U Squared. And I remember having dinner with Price once. And I think this goes to the whole getting unstuck and getting in touch with abundance. I kind of like easy. And he told me something that really brought easy into the picture. He said, so many of us are looking for that big quantum, that big thing to happen, but they don't take care of the little things. He said, our life will get better just by living day to day, typically, but it'll take our entire life to get even just a little bit better. He said, if you want those quantum leaps, he says, all you need to do is just form one new little habit, some new productive habit. If you just start doing that, it's those little things that'll create the quantum leaps. That's what will bring you abundance. Don't worry about all the big things you have to do. What little thing can you change today? What new habit can you form that'll make you more effective? And get on that. Just take care of the little steps. I said that if we just did one little thing every day to get us towards a bigger dream, a goal, something big that we wanted to achieve, we just did one little thing that even seems insignificant. In a year's period of time, we've done 365 little things. I mean, that's going to add up to something big. That's how you make it happen.
Dave, final thought?
I'm emotional as well, because I can hear somebody's voice within the voice of Brian as well. And I remember a 4-hour dinner at a certain steak place in Toronto with the incredible Bob Proctor. And the first distinction he made about abundance is, don't forget, Dave, there's a difference between abundance and prosperity. And prosperity is a subset of abundance, and that giving and abundance cannot be a trade or a negotiation. And too many people think there's an automatic loop between giving and receiving. And within the context of prosperity and abundance, we not only need to give more, but we have to elevate our awareness through gratitude and forgiveness of all that we're given. So many people don't realize all they're given because they feel punished by a circumstance or an outcome that they weren't aware of or didn't understand. And even more importantly, after you're aware of all you're given, to be able to receive more because you are a son of God and worthy in that belief and faith that you are receiving more than enough of everything for everyone. And then finally, the life-changing, impactful statement is, David, you need to learn to ask for more. If you have faith in God, then there's more than enough for everyone. So just imagine whatever you want, that there's a whole table of it and only one person sitting at that table. Why wouldn't you ask for more when there's more than enough? So give more, be given more, receive more, and ask for more than more so you can give more than more, instead of living in the zero-sum game of trade and negotiation of giving to receive. Instead, live in the infinite loop of abundance and prosperity, and it'll be better for everyone with everything. And Brian, please reach out. I miss you. Cynthia and Blaine obviously speak always as they are working through their promotion and protection with Cynthia's health. And we just are so grateful that you've been such a great supporter of our life's mission with the Unstoppable Foundation. So God bless you, my friend. And Danielle, thank you so much as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was awesome. Real quick before we hop off, Danielle, how can our audience and community get involved? What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about our, what's coming for 2025. I actually just wanted to touch on Unstoppable Foundation. I had no idea, David, so I just wanted to bring this full circle. I was just with Cynthia this past year in June in Kenya. So I'm so grateful for that. What I'm excited about for 2025, just more, like really more impact. The world needs this material, needs to understand who and what they are, the truth of that, and the abundance is our birthright, and to really not get caught up in the fear like Brian mentioned. So I'm excited for all of us to be in purpose and really impacting people to remember that truth. So thank you for having me today.
My pleasure. Beautiful. Brian, how about you?
Well, I first off, I just want to say thank you, Craig, David, Danielle. It's great to see you all. David, I have to agree. It's really good to see you too. And man, I had a wonderful conversation with Craig. I guess it was a year ago now. I guess the last thing I want to say is we're coming into a new year. Everybody's talking about resolutions and all these things. I think that can be an overused term. I think just start stepping out and betting on yourself. You really are capable of so much more. And if we can get comfortable stepping into that uncomfortable, we'll do a lot. And 2025 can be an incredible year if we make the decision to make it incredible. And that's it. That's all we got to do. And step out and bet on yourself. Like David said, abundance is our birthright. There's so much out there for us all. We just have to look for it and step out, do something, and maybe do something a little bit different. But have fun while you're doing it. Have fun.
Beautiful. Dave, take us home.
Yeah, just simply join our community, whether it be with Unstoppable, Napoleon Hill Institute, or any other things that we have going on. Just email me. I live my life of service. I try to live up to my name, which means beloved servant. And david@dmeltzer.com. I answer everything myself. I'm old school, so I like emails. david@dmeltzer.com. And bless all of you over the holidays, and just my ingratitude and love. Thanks for including me on this amazing show, episode 196. We've never missed a week, guys. So Brian, Danielle, Craig, and I have never missed a week for 196 weeks. So Bob would be proud.
That's awesome.
Danielle, Brian, love you guys. Thank you for joining us. Dave, love you. We'll all connect offline, and have a great weekend, guys.
All right.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Bye, guys. Amazing.